this video, we will learn how to add a new user to your brand new TMS account. From the landing page, we can go to the Assets section and click on Users. This will open up a list of all users where at the top left corner, you'll be able to see the Add button with the plus that will open up a new window and allow you to create a brand new user. You also see quick access buttons to edit or delete an entry. The edit and delete buttons only appear when you highlight a specific line by clicking on it. Keep in mind this users list will function the same as the other lists in the TMS, such as drivers, trucks, trailers, and more. At the bottom left, you'll have a search function just as with other list windows in the TMS. By clicking on the magnifying glass, this will open a search bar that will allow you to search for list-specific fields. In the users list, you can search by user ID, login, name, type, among other fields as well. You can then type them in the criteria you are looking for to search by that specific field. You can then filter the criteria by what starts with, contains, or equals to what you have typed, and then apply that by clicking Enter. To clear the criteria, you can click on the button with the X arrow on the far right. On the bottom, you'll also have an option to toggle through how many entries you see on the page, from 25 to all. Jump back and forth between pages by using these arrow buttons. Refresh results with this button here in the middle. Show any deactivated users by unchecking the active checkbox. And then also adjusting the visible columns that you see on the list with this button on the bottom right. You can search for specific columns by name with this bar here. And you can select the ones that you want to be visible by clicking the checkboxes next to their names. By also clicking and holding on the three lines next to each one, you can drag to arrange them in the order that you would like. You have some shortcuts to bring the list back to default, or you can check and uncheck all of the columns with this button here down at the bottom. Once you have them arranged in the order that you would like, with the criteria that you want visible, click Done, and it will rearrange the list. You will have additional filtering capabilities by hovering over the column headers where a filter icon will appear. Once you click this, another intermediate window will pop up where you can add multiple filters to that specific column that start with, contain, or exactly match your input criteria, and then filter by clicking OK. So we'll do an example here. If you do have any specific filters in place, for a column on your list, you will see a blue filter icon that shows up next to the header. To clear the filters, you can click on the filter icon and remove each one by clicking the Remove button, or you can simply exit out of the list and the column filters will be cleared the next time you open it. You will also have the ability to export whatever filtered information you need from the list by clicking the Export button at the bottom right. You can export to an HTML, CSV, PDF, or Excel file type and save to your computer. This, in essence, allows you to have a certain degree of custom reporting on each list page of the TMS. As mentioned, when you click on Add here in the users list, this will open up a new pop-up window for a new user profile. ID is system generated and not editable, as this is what the TMS system uses to assign specific list entities to orders, transactions, and more. You can choose to deactivate a user by unchecking the active checkbox. All fields with an asterisk will be required, such as login, name, and password. So we'll do an example here. Password confirm is where you will retype the password to confirm it's correct. If you would like to disable email or text message functionality from the system for this specific user, you can uncheck the email enabled and SMS enabled checkboxes respectively. When selecting the type, you can choose from coordinator, safety, accounting, superadmin, shop, trial, manager, and data entry. Each one will have a specific preset of default rights that will allow specific permissions to view, add, edit, or delete items in the system. A superadmin will have full rights by default. You can customize the rights for each user by clicking on the 3 dots next to the auto-populated code in the rights field. This will open up a new pop-up window where you can select which specific permission the user has in each section. If there is a check mark next to that section, they will have full rights within that section. If there is a horizontal bar, then they will have limited rights. If the box is empty, they will not have any access to that section, and they won't even be able to view it. When you click on the small right-facing arrow next to the boxes, this expands the selection of available rights under that specific section where you can adjust your user needs. Once you have selected the specific rights you need for a user, you have additional informative fields that are optional to fill out, such as phone number, extension, cell phone, and email. So we'll add a phone number here, and we will also add an email. Pay to will allow you to assign a vendor to this specific user, which you can then select from another intermediate list that pulls up the vendors available. The last connection date, client version, and IP address will show you the last time the user logged into the system, which version of the TMS that they were using, and from which IP address they connected from after they logged in. You can also limit the amount of express codes that this user can generate on a daily basis, and with an option of no limit if you put 0 in the field. Finally, you have a comments section at the bottom that allows you to put any extra notes or details you'd like to save for this user. When you click apply, the information will be saved and the user profile window will stay open. Once you save a user, you will also have the option of refreshing the user data, for example, to see if the user had logged in during the time you were editing their user profile after the fact. And you will still be able to make any necessary changes while this window is open. When you click OK, the window will save any changes and close. However, if you click on Cancel, this will exit the window if no changes were made, or provide a confirmation prompt to save or discard if any changes were made. By clicking Save, this will save and close the window. If you click Discard, it will not save and close the window. And by clicking Cancel, it will go back to the user profile window. So now we have added a new user. He's now on the list with the specific permissions and rights that we had set for him. If you have any additional questions on more specific rights and permissions, please see our Setting Up Custom Rights video or contact us directly. Thank you.